Okay, so this video is about how to have a lighter menstrual cycle. So, first, mentally, you can make sure that you don't have any heavy thoughts on your mind. And if you do have heavy thoughts on your mind, make sure you're going to Planet Fitness and you're making that situation lighter, right? So, if you come across certain memories and things that might be frustrating for you, like I said, you can make that situation light because the goal is to have a lighter period, right? So, mentally, where your mind goes is where your body goes, and that's what your body will experience based off of the mindset that you're in, right? So, that's something that you can do mentally. Physically, you can make sure that you are building up a sweat and able to do some form of exercise so that things can flow through you easier, right? And also preparation for seeing from a mile away to be able to prevent having a lighter period before it even starts, um, is to make sure that when you start to feel and see and experience certain things that alerts you to let you know my period is about to start, you can start to do these things more than you normally would. So if you usually go to Esoteric Planet Fitness, then make sure that when you get those alert warning signs, you are um, upping your routine and pattern to making situations and thought patterns and thoughts and feelings lighter than you normally would, or exercising and building up a sweat even more, or allowing yourself to, if you do feel more frustration, then make that situation even lighter than you normally would. So the things that would normally make you frustrated, choose to have a different way to react and respond to that than you normally would when you are not on your cycle, right? And so you can drink more liquids, especially ones that are hot, but liquids just in general. Um, but if you are in the type of situation where you might be the type of individual that you want your period to come faster, you know what I'm saying? I've never been in that situation, but if you did want to get your period faster, some things you could do is to drink hot, like red juice, right? So I learned this through hibiscus, but I feel like hibiscus is connected to the other red liquids as well, because I learned that as soon as I drink that, my period is gonna come. If it was already about the like on its way, that's something that will speed up the process or whatever. So for me, the goal is to have a lighter period altogether, and sometimes that means that the period will be delayed, right? So I like to drink a lot of limes and lemons by itself, and then lemons with ginger or limes with ginger. That's usually my experience. That's how I like to go about things. So that's something else that can help you have a lighter period when it comes to physical things, right? So, yeah, that's like the three main things. So, making sure that you are going to Planet Fitness, which means Esoteric Planet Fitness, which means that whenever you are dealing with any type of heavy situation as far as a thought or a feeling, you have learned and trained yourself to be able to make that thought and feeling lighter, right? So if a memory comes to you, something that happened, an experience, something you feel like is something to be frustrated about, you choose to be happy instead of frustrated because you was able to learn from that experience, something that you would not have known if you had not gone through that, right? And so that's the one. So the next thing is to build up sweat and exercise so that you are able to release easier and better so nothing is stuck. So these two things correlate together, right? So sometimes when you experience a menstrual cycle, you can experience things being stuck and cramps, right? So blood clots and things like that. So if you don't want that, and if you don't want cramps, and if you don't want to feel like if you are laying down and you feel stuck and you only want to be in one place and you just want to, when you get your cycle, you might feel like that. But if you don't do that, that's what causes you to allow things to move instead of um, feeling like miserable because you on your period, get up and force yourself to do something, regardless of what it is, even if it's just sitting up, you know? So, okay, so the two things that correlate with that is when it comes to that stuckness, blood clot feeling, is the liquids. You can drink the liquids, the hot liquids, to allow things to pass through. You can um, build up the sweat so that you exercise and things are, coming through. So the sweat and the liquid, and lighter thoughts, and lighter feelings. When you combine all of those things, you're able to not experience physical stuckness and cramps, things being in a particular place and location where it might be hard for you to move. That's why it's important to see from a mile away before you even get into that situation, to prevent it from happening. So that's how you have lighter period.